With fewer men of color graduating at the community college level, there's a local effort underway to find out why and offer solutions. The project is called the Minority Male Community College Collaborative. Here with the details is co-director of the program, Luke Wood. Welcome.
Thank you.
Now, Luke, what does your research reveal as to why men of color are having issues in community college?
Okay. Well, we've partnered with 40 community colleges in 8 states to really investigate what are the factors that influence their success. And we really kind of broken it down into 2 main areas. The first area focuses on what we call campus ethos. That's the environment and conditions that are created at the college that make students feel like they're validated, like you belong, you can succeed, I believe in you. Where it makes them feel like they belong at the institution. It makes them feel like they can engage in the classroom like faculty members want them to do so. So that's one set of factors that we've seen has been really important. The other side really deals with masculinity. When we talk about men of color, sometimes we forget that they're men. Men sometimes are less likely to seek out help. And if you're less likely to do so, you may be less likely to meet with a faculty member, go to academic advising, go to tutoring, and so we consider both of those parts.
How were you able to get this data?
So what we do is we survey men in community colleges, all men across the board, who are trying to earn a certificate, degree, or transfer.
And as far as specifics, did you interview them? Did you have a survey?
Well, in terms of our most recent study, which deals with faculty members, we've taken data from our survey of men. We've also done interviews with faculty members who are leaders in serving men of color. And we've also done interviews with men of color and taken narratives from those who have been successful in transferring from a 2-year college to a 4-year college.
Are some of these challenges specific to minority men in general, or do they actually differ between the different races?
That's a great question. Actually, what we've seen is that there's a lot of difference between groups. We look at differences between Black students in terms of what affects their success, and Latino students and Asian American students, broken down into several groups. One of the groups that we're really concerned about is Southeast Asian men, Hmong, Cambodian, Laotian men, who oftentimes have experiences and outcomes on par with that of other men of color.
What are some of the key recommendations as far as improving the odds for either this specific group or for all men of color in the community college level?
Okay. Well, one of the recommendations really deals with developing faculty members. We really believe that faculty members must be taught how to engage with men of color in the classroom. And a lot of it deals with the relationships themselves, whether men of color feel like they can trust that faculty member. So before even we can talk about what's good teaching, we have to talk about how do you build relationships with those men. The next part we talk about deals with what we call early alert systems. So that's when you have a student who is missing a couple classes or falls behind in a couple of assignments. There should be an automatic trigger that then lets the faculty member know, hey, this student isn't doing well. I might need to send them to support services on campus, and then helping make those linkages between the student and those services.
And I understand some of your recommendations actually start way before that and trying to increase the success of minority men in college. How early should they start?
Cradle. You know, we look a lot at early childhood education because that's actually where the gaps really begin. These men early on are taught by teachers who are primarily white and female. So they're taught that school early on is a domain.
So you're talking kindergarten, grade school, all the way through.
Preschool, kindergarten, grade school, they're taught primarily by white women. And as a result, they view the structure of power in the classroom as one of that belonging to white women. Therefore, if they engage in the classroom in some ways, they can be negating their own identity. So think about how we can create more of a pipeline of teachers who are men of color, who are also women and women of color. We want to have a diverse pipeline of teachers so that students see people who look like them in the classroom.
How will these recommendations and this data that you found actually fit into the national initiative of My Brother's Keeper?
Yeah, well, recently the Obama administration released the My Brother's Keeper initiative, and what they've done is they have 4 of their 6 main points look at what can we do in education to improve outcomes for boys and men of color. We believe that our work directly informs that initiative in that we're saying to policymakers, these are some things that you can do that can help improve outcomes for these men. And some of them are simple. And the benefit is a lot of the recommendations that we have are things that not only benefit men of color, but they benefit all students, because if you can affect those students most on the margin, you can affect everyone.
So we are almost out of time, so I have to end on this one. But if you could name one or two of those recommendations that you say would benefit everyone.
Okay. One would be starting student equity plans. So when a college identifies outcome gaps between different students, creating and putting plans of action in place that can help you to serve those students better. Again, creating early warning systems and early alert systems to help identify students and other practices.
All right, researcher Luke Wood, thank you so much.
Thank you.